The early days of your arm wrestling career are the most important. It's when you learn how to do everything completely different than this guy in this random stock photo I found. But it's also when your body is most ready to grow, newbie gains, if you will, and it's where you're gonna pick up all kinds of new habits, some good and some bad. I was lucky enough to learn some really good habits early on that I want to share. This is me years ago after going undefeated in my first ever tournament, the New England Arm Wrestling Championships. I proceeded to go undefeated over my next 3 amateur tournaments before entering my first pro tournament and getting a win on the infamous Schoolboy. Now I may not be ready for Levon yet, but what I can do is share with you 3 things that I see newcomers doing that are holding them back from reaching their full potential. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, treating practice like a tournament. Hey bro, I'm totally gonna beat Mike at practice today. This is a practice.
But we talking about practice, man.
Yes, we are, and you are there to work on your weak spots, help your teammates, and have them help you. As soon as you start treating this like an opportunity to boost your ego, all of a sudden your training is gonna go totally whack. You're gonna be not arm wrestling as much in order to save some juice for Mike in this example, or you're gonna be breaking form when you are pulling with Mike in order to get that pin and feel good about yourself. But for all you know, this was Mike yesterday after getting hit by a car on his way to Trader Joe's. Or maybe this is his 3rd practice this week and he's coming in at about 70% of his normal form. The point is, going into practice with goals of pinning certain people is a foolish endeavor and is only going to hold you back. Teach and be taught. Maybe you get some pins, maybe you don't. The only thing that matters is that you get a good workout and you learn something you didn't know when you came in that day. Number 2, prioritizing weights over table time. Now you may have heard people like Todd Hutchings say that he does mostly weight training, only going to a practice every once in a while. But that is because, and I can't stress this enough, he has put the time in on the table to know exactly what to look for in his weight training. The reason I fell in love with arm wrestling is because it's so nuanced. It's not just 2 meatheads smashing into each other until one of their arms touches the fluffy pad on the side of the table. At all times, even during the setup, there are tiny little pressures to feel for to know that you're doing the right thing. So no, you can't just go to the gym and say, well, I know I need to work my pronation, my elbow flexion, and my wrist flexors, and then I'll be a good arm wrestler. Put the time in on the table. You're still going to get stronger. Your tendons and ligaments are going to be worked in ways that you really can't emulate in a traditional gym, and you're going to learn what to do. You're going to learn to think like an arm wrestler, and that table IQ is going to be extremely important in the long run. Did I mention you'll also learn how to prevent injuries, which you won't realize how important that is until you get one. Once you have a real intuitive sense of what to look for on the arm wrestling table, then you can start putting more emphasis on the gym because you'll know when you're hitting that sweet spot. Number 3, leave your ego at the door. Whether it's the door at your practice facility, the door at the gym, or the door at the tournament venue, leave your ego at it. Because you're gonna suck and you're supposed to suck. Take it away, Prudnik.
Do you know how many times I lost at the beginning of my arm wrestling way? And it's these ladders that brought me to a level that I can afford to challenge Devon.
It may sound like a cliche, but it's true. It's the losses that teach you lessons and keep you growing until you get to where, like Prudnik said, you can challenge Devin Larratt. Those losses can come at tournaments, or like I said in mistake number 1, they can come at practice. And as long as you look at them and figure out what hole in your game got exploited and how you're gonna fix that, you're gonna improve. I think perhaps the best example of this is Devin Larratt versus Michael Todd at the WAL, and Devin just lost the hammer match to Michael Todd. It was one of the most hyped up events in all of WAL, and Devin took the loss, but check out what he said right afterward.
Taught me a lesson tonight. Thank you, Michael.
With a smile on his face, he says, "Taught me a lesson tonight. Thank you, Michael." And that wasn't just respect. Devin meant it. After that loss, he went on an absolute tear, going on one of the best winning streaks of his career until the match everyone wanted to see was Devin versus Levon. So if you're going into practices worrying about who might get a pin on you and then they might think less of you, or that you're going to go 0-2 at a tournament, you're going to stress yourself out, you're not going to have fun, and there's a good chance you'll burn out of the sport. Remember this guy? Yeah, well, I didn't stay undefeated forever. I've taken losses in front of friends, in front of family, in front of lots of cameras, but I always try to take that same attitude that Devin had after his loss to Michael Todd. It's not always easy, but it's how champions are made. Take it from Jordan. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So, stop treating practice like a tournament. Particularly if you're new, stop prioritizing weights over table time, and leave your ego at the door. Before I sign off, as many of you know, I make arm wrestling content for the internet and real life. This is the Mod Gripper, which is a tool I designed to put you in that arm wrestling starting position where you use that flat finger clamp strength, which helps a ton in stopping other people's top rolls. So if that's an area you need help in, check it out. Link will be in the description. So those are 3 of the biggest mistakes I see newcomers make. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know with a like and I'll put out more content like this. And if you think I earned it, subscribe. I put out multiple new videos every week and I will see you in the next one.